Testing. Hey, this is Seth Green here. We are going to dive right into our Financial Advisor Marketing Program November implementation call. Walk through showing you what we got this month. All right. So as always, welcome to the new members who joined this month. Congratulations. You made a really smart choice to join the Market Domination family and the Financial Advisor Marketing Program community. Here we are all about direct response financial advisor marketing that actually works. So I want to give a quick shout out to the awesome folks over Dave Bizarre, Brett Elam, James over at Thrive Financial Services, because you know what? I want to tell them thank you for their loyalty and their patience. We have a library of materials we've created over the last 9-10 years for financial advisors. And obviously the marketplace changes, which is why I'm in it. I'm still a licensed financial advisor. I am practicing every single month. What we give to you, what you pay for, some of it is created from scratch for you, and some of it is stuff we've used in our practice that we know works. And the first seminar campaign we did for Thrive worked great for an advisor we did it for in Florida, worked great for an advisor we did it for in New York, and for whatever reason, flopped in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania. The first, we did a Trump, Hillary seminar invitation, how is the upcoming election going to affect your retirement? And it had worked in 2 other markets. We had no reason to think it wouldn't work in Fort Washington, but for whatever reason, it didn't. Complete flop. And we got on the phone and called people. Well, first of all, they got us the seminar list as part of some numbers off the mailing list from their mailing house. We then went and white paged, reverse directoried every phone numbers for people, because the list didn't come with phone numbers. So we went and dug up phone numbers and physically called them. And here's the really interesting thing we found was the people that we were able to get a hold of that we talked to remembered the seminar invitation. So that was first rule. They actually got it, they actually read it, and it stood out enough that they remembered it. But everyone there, the liberals, said, no, I'm confident Hillary's going to win and everything's going to be fine and everything's going to be good. I don't need to come to a seminar to find out how the election is going to affect my retirement. I think I'm going to be good. And the conservatives, Republicans that we talked to, no, Trump's going to win and everything's going to get better. So none of them were worried what effect the election would have on their finances, which is really interesting, because in other markets, people that we've done this in, that it worked really well, they were terrified. Like, we had some of the highest show up rates ever on a seminar with that invitation, and it drove a ton of business. So for whatever reason, it didn't work in Thrive's market. However, so we went back to the drawing board and we took an existing seminar invitation they were using, that they're done for you vendor in the industry that you've probably heard of, had supplied them with. And we tweaked one thing. We changed just the headline. And according to the records we got today, just one headline increased their response rate 58%. So thank you for being patient, Thrive. We really appreciate it. We are now working on the next headline for you to test, in addition to all of the other marketing that we're doing them. They're in our VP program. So obviously we've been doing other things along the way to get them results. So it wasn't just for seminar marketing. Everything else, a lot of the other stuff that we're doing is working. But thank you for being patient, because our first invitation didn't hit a home run. Although I had every reason to think it would. That's the only reason we did it for them. So I'm glad that the headline worked for you. And let's dive right into what we're here for today. So we always start off, for those of you who are new, the newsletter you get always starts off with the Renegade Millionaire Way from my mentor, Dan Kennedy. Incidentally, really exciting stuff. I just got back from Info Summit, which is Dan Kennedy's annual conference for information marketing. And all of you in financial services should be in the information marketing business, and you are, whether you know it or not. So for example, shout out to the folks at Campbell Wealth Management. Campbell has written a book. He's written more than one, but I mean a book called Fire Your Broker. Book is information. That's information marketing. Using a book as lead generation is a classic, awesome information marketing campaign. If you're in our program where we get you interviews with CPAs and attorneys for a book, that book will be information that will be lead generation for you. And I had the good fortune to get a 20-minute private meeting with Dan, and I showed him copy lead generation report that we just wrote for a reverse mortgage professional. And the book is, the ebook is called, Martha's Story, A Prudent Senior Citizen's Guide to Reverse Mortgages. Dan, and I asked Dan, it wasn't the main focal point of our meeting. I had rehearsed the meeting several times. I had timed it because I only had 20 minutes and I wanted to get the most out of it. And I said, if he takes 2 minutes to read one page, and then I will have, 18 minutes to do on the other things I need to do. So I said, Dan, I got to that part of the meeting. I said, if you could take a look at this for 2 minutes, read one page, and then we will go from and then give me some feedback, and then you can take it with you and read it later, next week, next month, whatever. That would be awesome. And he read the whole entire thing, looked up at me. I mean, I couldn't stop it. I said, Dan, I only budgeted 2 minutes, and he kept reading, which was a good sign. And then he looked up. I said, I was really nervous. I was like, either he really likes it or he really is going to be mad at me. And he looks up at me and he says, this is pretty damn good. And I said, wow, I married my wife, birth of 3 kids. After that, I said, I think I'm good, and then we talked about it for another couple of minutes. So it changed my meeting agenda. But what I'm doing, I know most of you aren't in the reverse mortgage business. So I'm taking the theme of that report that he liked so much, how I wrote it. And I'm writing an annuity lead generation campaign from it. I'm writing an 2 different estate planning seminar invitations from it. I'm really excited to get to share it with all of you since I got the blessing from the man himself. All right, so let's dive in. As a member, you have the right to send in your marketing to us for us to critique and make better and make comments on. It doesn't matter if you got the marketing from us, if you were inspired by something we did and created your own, or if you bought it somewhere else. I am happy to we're happy to do that for you as part of our customer client service for you. So this is a friend of ours. I changed the name to, it's funny, he put the name on there as me. He wrote it as if it was me, but misspelled my name. So this was the, when can we stop calling it the government stimulus program? Lead generation for free report. So for example, you all should have multiple free reports, multiple lead generation magnets, offering to get people as calls to action. So things that I like that he did. So he's going after affluent conservatives. So I love the Ronald Reagan picture because he is one of their heroes. I love the Reaganomics quote because your affluent conservative, older conservatives will remember this. And positioning the Obama-led government stimulus program is the problem is really, really good. Obviously, he's got to change this stuff. It shouldn't be about me. And biggest mistakes, I like that he's giving some of the mistakes. Something we found that will increase the letter response is if you put the page number. If you say on page 7 of our report, you will learn X, Y, and Z, as opposed to just saying mistake number 3. Lumpy mail. Like he's using the proprietary product mistake, which is a good one. He's talking about being handcuffed to proprietary providers, which is copy we wrote. Buy some plastic handcuffs. You can get them from 3dmailresults.com. Tell Travis I sent you and make it lumpy mail and it'll work a whole lot better. And then don't give away all 7 mistakes because they may then think they don't need to read the report. You want to tease them to get them to do that. All right, this is from Bill Shuttleworth. Bill is sending a letter to Aboit, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Aboit Township homeowners, trying to get them in the door through car and auto and home insurance. The reason why we have a number of financial advisors who are also licensed PNC, that way is because I originally started out in PNC. I started out, worked for Prudential, and back in the late 90s, their grand scheme was to combine Pruco Insurance and Pruco Investments so we could do everything under one roof. So we were Series 7 licensed and PNC Life and Health. We were supposed to be a one-stop shop. And after 9 months, they killed the program I was in because they figured you can't be everything to all people. Nobody can be an expert in everything. But they taught us lead with PNC because the garage is the biggest door into the house. Now, that is physically true, not telling you to sell PNC insurance. But this is Bill's letter. So some things that he's doing right. I like the picture of his family, personalizes it. I like the bullets. Well, they're not really bullets. The bullet points. I like that. Issues I've got, things he could improve. He's saying, I'll bet you a $25 gift certificate. We can save you money on your car and home insurance. The issue with that, I don't mind the $25 bribe for lead gen, but the way he said it, he's doing it, you're setting somebody up and you're saying, hey, I'm going to bet you this. So now the person wants you to be wrong. They're like an adversarial relationship. So I'd position it differently. I like that he addresses the elephant in the room. If you're like most people, you'd probably rather have a root canal without anesthetic than talk with some insurance guy. I understand. So good. I like that there. He's preempting the objection. Not sure if I'd thrilled about the honestly, you'd have to be a misguided urchin to pass this one up. I don't know how that gets you what the urchin reference is. I mean, I know what an urchin is. I don't know why it's in there. And then email Shuttleworth@AOL.com. Bill, seriously? You're still using AOL? I didn't know they were still around, let alone had customers. Come on, man. How about Bill@Shuttleworth.com or something like that? All right, let's see. Then the other issue is it's going to take 4.5 minutes. I mean, you're competing with Geico and they're 15 minutes to save you 15%. And then Esurance was like 7 minutes to 7%. Everybody's trying to make it shorter, quicker. It shouldn't be about speed. I mean, you don't want your doctor saying, I can get you in and out in 3 minutes. You want the time it takes to make sure it's done right. So I would almost rather see you go against the Geicos of the world and say, it's going to take an hour. And position it as why that's worth it, as opposed to worrying about 7 minutes for 7%. Okay, this is Kurt Rosman. Kurt said this is his Thanksgiving letter. So I like that he sent a Thanksgiving letter. You should send a I'm thankful for you. You should at least send a card, which we're going to give you. So I like that. And then he said, thanks for making me a 5-star wealth manager title. Best wishes. It's visually boring. There's no graphics. I would have a picture of 5-star wealth manager award. I'd have a picture of him and his family, maybe a turkey. I would make it more fun. Okay, campaigns for you that we've created. Okay, so this is a long-term care campaign, but not a traditional buy long-term care insurance campaign. So what I found, and I'm in the New York State Partnership for Long-Term Care, is over the last 15 years, I've never had anybody really want to buy long-term care. They buy it because they think they have to. And they have more objections, 4 common objections that I address in this letter. But I tell it from a story of my grandmother's, kind of like the rich dad, poor dad guy story comparison. This is rich grandmother, poor grandmother. So now these are the 4 objections why people don't buy long-term care that I have encountered over and over and over again. You might have different ones. Policy is too expensive. You don't want to think about your own mortality. You think you're going to die perfectly in your sleep, or you couldn't understand the policy because it had too many bells and whistles. So you can't really do anything about 2 and 3 other than argue with them and say 2/3 of people over 60-something will need long-term care. So look to your left, look to your right. One of you's, 2 of you are going to need it. Everyone thinks it's the other guy until they are the other guy. But 1 and 4 is easy to fix. So what I'm sharing with them is what I'm using to solve that problem is there are now life insurance policies, and I'm not recommending a specific company, but I've used Hartford. Hartford has a life insurance policy with a long-term care rider on it, and they're not the only ones now. And the way it works is if you need assistance with the 3 out of 5 or whatever it is, activities of daily living, it triggers the long-term care rider, and you get up to, I think, 1% of the policy death benefit every month that you need assistance with those activities of daily living. So you got a $200,000 policy, you got $2,000 a month comes out of the death benefit, and you can get it before you die. So that solves all the problems, because if you die peacefully in your sleep, the death benefit goes to your beneficiary and you're good. It's not complicated. It's easy to understand. And what I found comparing them is it's cheaper to buy than long-term care insurance, because the life insurance companies are betting obviously a different way actuarially than policies that are just for long-term care. So I think this letter has worked for us to generate long-term care leads. I hope it does the same for you. Now, another way we generate leads, for those of you who don't know, my ideal client on the financial services side, I work exclusively with estate planning attorneys who are partners in their law firm. We get their business, then we get their client's business. Because I tried the other way 15 years ago, going after them, saying, hey, refer your clients to me, and it didn't work. Now, back then I hadn't created the book system that gets you referrals. So what I did was I realized I needed to go after the lawyers first. So this is a lead generation, full page lead generation ad we run in the local bar journal, bar association newspaper, and I would assume every city has one. So this was, I reworked the very famous, John Caples is one of the most famous copywriters of all time. One of his most famous advertisements was, they laughed when I sat down at the piano, but when I started to play. And it's a full page ad selling a correspondence course of learn how to play piano through the mail. And no, it's not an internet ad. He wrote it during the Great Depression when no one had any money. And they literally mailed you piano lessons of what to do. So you had to read and then go sit at the piano and do it. No internet, no YouTube, no apps. And it built a multi-million-dollar business selling piano lessons through the mail during the Great Depression when no one had any money. So I said, that's one of the most famous direct response newspaper ads of all time. So I said, I'm going to rewrite that and use it for my practice. And lo and behold, it worked. So you guys can use it now. You don't have to use it to go after law partners. You could modify it, but you get the idea. Things I would tweak. Obviously, if you want to, I'm going to rewrite some of this after the election, because I'm recording this on election day, and I'll get you that, but you get the idea. This is the color version that we have also used and mailed as a lead generation ad, as opposed to just running it as a print ad. And see how it's written as a story? My law partners gossip. They thought I was nuts. Financial planners are all crooks. I asked my law partners who they used. Months of searching, I finally found what I was looking for. I looked Seth Green's firm up. I read his report. He saved the day. Blah, 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 blah. So you get it. It's fun. It's not boring. Thanksgiving. All right. So this is the warm and fuzzy Thanksgiving end to your newsletter. This is the warm and fuzzy. This is the hard ask, which is, who do you know who's not thankful for their financial advisor? Send them our way. We'll give them $100 off a retirement plan. If they become a client, we'll send you both a turkey on us. Then this is your Silver Spoonfuls November newsletter, which obviously you need to modify, change the picture, change the title, change the subheading, change this stuff to match your firm, which will help you do. Family update, which is where you go to talk about your kids or your staff or what's going on. In this case, this was trick-or-treating. And my kids actually, what's cool is this is Max, the skeleton. This is Ella. She's Annie because she was Annie and Annie. And this is Lily, who is Anna from Frozen. And they actually submitted a joke this month. And it was, why was 6 scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. So we'll see if they contribute more jokes in the future. Then you've got healthy living, which obviously you'll remove the part about my in-laws health food store. And then the end, which again either has a warm, fuzzy, or hard ask Thanksgiving campaign, depending on where you are in your cycle. So you've got the life long-term care insurance mailer. You've got the They Laughed John Caples ad. You've got Silver Spoonfuls with Thanksgiving on it. Those are your campaigns for the month. December is going to be huge to set you up for 2017. We always have some awesome December campaigns. Plus, I will have the annuity and estate planning lead generation campaigns, hopefully both done, tested, and results for you to use. So I'm super excited about that. So we are thankful here at Market Domination LLC for you. We know we wouldn't exist without you, our clients. We know that we're not perfect. We are thankful for your patience when you need to be patient with us. We are thankful that you share your successes with us when we hit a home run, when we get you a base hit, or when we hit you a home run. So we greatly appreciate your business and your loyalty and your friendship. And so let me be the first to say happy Thanksgiving. Make sure you do your calls with us to get this stuff out the door, because it can't generate results for you if you don't use it. And thank you. Thank you for being my client. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being part of our family. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to serving you and continuing to generate great results for you. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you on our call in November, and then we'll see you on the next call in December.